All right. Packers week, Packers week, Packers week. Mm. So much to talk about. And to me, I want to jump right into it because obviously this is being labeled as a trap game. Um, a game that Aaron Rodgers will play his best at because it's against the Cowboys and Aaron Rodgers is a Cowboy killer, and he is. I was at the playoff game where Dallas pretty much has the game. Well, no, what game? It was two games. It was two games against Aaron Rodgers where he just made amazing things happen. But I have a theory, and my theory is this ain't that. Um, it's not the same team. It's not the same staff. What's up, y'all? And to me, as we look at this game, and there's a lot to kind of unwrap when it comes to this game. Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old. He's 39. Now, I was watching film today. I watched the Lions game, and he still has some ability to kind of make things happen. He's still doing that. He can sneak out the back door, but for lack of a better term, what's up, fam? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? For lack of the Packers just aren't playing good football. The Commanders' loss really comes to mind as a team that's just like, yes, this is quote unquote a trap game, but it's also just a team that's just not playing good football. And when I think about what Dallas has to do to flat out win this game, right? This is where you need Ezekiel Elliott. So last week, the Chicago game, it was the Tony Pollard show. But this week, you're going to Lambeau Field, and you need to run the football. Why do you need to run the football? When I watched the Packers against the Lions last week, they just don't look like a physical team right now. Rashawn Gary out for the year, one of their better, probably one of their highest graded run defenders against the run. That's what Rashawn Gary was out of Michigan. And you look at Rashawn Gary and you look at the DM position, and I don't even know who they have behind Gary. You ask yourself, man, the defense for the Packers was playing good football. The team wasn't, but the defense was playing okay. Obviously, the offense was just abysmal. Aaron Rodgers, bad body language Rodgers. We'll get to that offense, but the defense was playing good football. But now Rashawn Gary's hurt, and they did a decent job on that Lions. They didn't give up a lot of points against the Lions, but they also couldn't score points. And so what happened that I noticed was as you started to lean on that defense, holes started to get a little bit bigger. They couldn't run. They couldn't stop the run as well. And like I said, the Packers have players on that defense. They do. But when you can't score points or when you can't put drives together, it gets kind of like, dang, Jair Alexander's getting beat. Dang. Now Rashawn Gary's hurt. So keys to beating this Green Bay defense. You got to run the football. You have to run the football. To me, obviously the Odell Beckham in the passing game is what Cowboys fans want to see, right? But when we talk about attacking this Green Bay defense, obviously Odell Beckham is what, fans want to see. what to see, right? But to me, this team is built on physicalness. Um, this team is built on punching people in the mouth. This team is built on, and it'll be cold in Green Bay. Won't be super cold, but it'll be cold. Um, this team is built on punching people in the mouth. Now you get that play action going. Now things start to open up. Um, this is a Zeke game. All right. This is an Ezekiel Elliott game. Now, Jair Alexander, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith. Um, no, Zadarius Smith, I believe. Zadarius Smith doesn't play with the Packers anymore. I believe he's with Minnesota. Yeah, let's look at that. Let's fact check that, Dwayne Johnson. Zadarius Smith is not with the Packers anymore. Zadarius Smith plays with Minnesota. Um, I think they moved on from Zadarius Smith because they had uh, and they drafted Rashawn Gary and he had taken the next step. But and let's fact check that. But let me hear from you guys. What are some of the keys to beating? Yeah, Zadarius Smith is with the Vikings. Yeah, he's with the Vikings. Preston Smith is still on the roster. Let's look at their roster. And looking up some numbers, we can even look up. So the Lions last week, and the Lions have a decent O line. Okay, we talked about this when we played the Lions. But Javon Williams, 24 rushes, 81 yards. Jackson had 4 carries, 27 yards. So that's a total. And then DeAndre Swift had 2 carries for 10 yards. So that's a total of right about 120-ish area. And then Goff had 2 touchdowns, but he didn't have many passing yards. To me, that's the way to go. Emotions will be high because obviously Mike McCarthy loved that area. I think his family actually still lives in Green Bay. And anybody who's been to Green Bay knows that Green Bay is it's like playing a high school game. Just a family atmosphere. I'll never forget when I went to the playoff game I think that was 2016. When I went to the playoff game in 2016, I was sitting next to some Green Bay fans, just the nicest people. There's nice people. It's just nice. Like they don't even trash talk mean. Like it was funny. Yeah, they just don't trash talk me. You just think about all the hurt over the years. The Aaron Rodgers crazy catch over Byron Jones. I forget what year was that, y'all. The crazy catch over Byron Jones, and then obviously the Dez catch. I think the Dez catch kind of. So if that Dallas team, if I truthfully believe this, if Dez Bryant catches that football, I truthfully believe that Dallas goes to the Super Bowl that year. And I believe that was a catch, the Dez catch. So just all that we've kind of had to deal with Green Bay, it's kind of been like some really hidden storylines in that kind of, dare I say, rivalry. Dallas 4th-and-1, DeMarco Murray. I think he had a decent game running the ball. I think Julius Peppers was on the field. Orlando Scandrick was on that team. Jeremy Mincy was on that team. Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. And Tony throws a fade ball. Dez beats his man off the line. Who was the corner who eventually came back and said that was a catch? Dez goes up, makes for my money, just a spectacular catch. And obviously they called it a drop. The rest is history. Funny thing about that, guys, is Dallas had a chance to get another stop. Yeah, Sam Shields was the corner. Dallas had a chance to get another stop. They didn't. Orlando Scandrick got cooked. God, Scandrick. That guy. And Dallas lose the game. Fast forward to now, 2022. We have the coach who was coaching that Packers team. He's now coaching the Cowboys. And, it's this team, right, is just a better team. And so when you look at it, I think that right now your offensive line is better than their defensive line. And they have good players on their defensive line. But I think that right now your offensive line is better. Number two, and most importantly, I think that you have two dynamic running backs. Like, I don't think that Zeke is 2016 Zeke. I don't. But I think that you have two dynamic running backs. Two of them. That's big. Because in games like this, I'm looking up some numbers real quick, guys. We on live, so it's cool. In games like this, you need to be able to run the football. I just had that feeling things could possibly get goofy, turnover, something goofy is they get high, and you need to be able to run the football to settle things down. And you have two running backs who could do so. You guys tell me. I gotta go get a bottle of water, y'all. My mouth is dry. It's been a long day. I actually had to work out. I had a lift today. Let me know. Give me some keys to attacking that Green Bay defense, and then we'll talk about it. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Give me some keys, y'all. All right, y'all. We on live. It's cool. How do we attack this Packers defense? Super chat. DMVJ Rose. What's up to my DMV brother? What's up, Holmes? DMVJ Rones. Dallas winning 35-13. We're gonna cook them the first half. Mike, hey, we're gonna talk about that offense, DMV, because yes, like I think that this defense is going to get after A-Rod, but I want to first talk about their defense because the defense is that defense isn't bad, right? Like the defense has players on it. Kenny Clark is still a good player. Jaron Reed came over from Seattle, good player, right? Darnell Savage is one of my favorite players in the league. Quay Walker, great young backer. Now the problem is that you lost Rashawn Gary. I think that Rashawn Gary is going to really hurt them. That Rashawn Gary loss is going to really hurt them because the ends that you're going to run out there against my tackles. I like us. I like Terrence Steele. I like Terrence Steele and Tyler Smith moving forward. I was on Vacha's Live. What's up, April? What's up, Aisha? I was on Vacha's Live And I said, I just like I like Tyler Smith at tackle. I like a mauling tackle. Now we're getting into the time of the year where we see stupid things happening around the league, like Jeff Saturday becoming a coach. We see teams starting to realize, like, if you wake up, right? Let's look at this as a team. Okay. Teams are starting to show who they are. Got a few teams that are like 4-4. You got a few teams that are 3-5 trying to make some type of push. So as a coach, how do you get those teams to get going? Then you got teams who are just trending down, right? To me, the Packers losing to the Lions, that hurts. It also hurts when I've been like extremely clear that like Aaron Rodgers just isn't a good leader. Body language sucks. You don't have to be in the locker room to see that. Like, I bet you if you took a poll, do players like playing with Aaron Rodgers? The answer will probably be no. Is he a great player? Yes. There are a lot of great players who like, I'm pretty sure players is like, I just don't like playing with him. I think Tom Brady's a great player who players like playing with. As fiery as he is, as chippy as he is, the whole nine. I do think that players like playing with Tom Brady. I don't know if players like playing with Aaron Rodgers. You know, his body language sucks. He's always whining. But anyway, I kind of went all the way around the corner, kind of just to make this point that when you have a team that's reeling, the best way to take their spirit is pounding them. The best way to take their spirit is pounding them. The best way to take their spirit is leaning on them. How do you do that? You run the football. Um, I would love to have Dak Prescott right at about 25 to 27 attempts in Green Bay. Now, Green Bay is a fast flowing defense. So, what type of runs are we talking about? Savage and those guys, Campbell, linebacker, stud. Um, what type of runs are we talking about? What type of runs are we talking about? You run at them, and then you play action them because they're fast flowing. They want to get to the ball. They're not really the biggest defense. So you run at them, and you make them be physical. You make them be physical. You run at them. I like what Kevin Brown just said. Talk your talk, Kevin Brown. Dominate the line of scrimmage. All right. Washington game. Washington game. You know? And Washington has a good running game. All right. They kind of exposed. I wouldn't say they exposed Dallas, but Washington game. Washington kind of started to lean on them on the Packers. All right. And that's where having Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard is not a battle. It's a beauty. Do we want Odell Beckham? Yes, we do. But we don't have him. That doesn't mean that all hope is gone. Like you have enough. We've had our quarterback for 3 games, y'all. It's wild that we've played 8 and we've had our quarterback for 3 and we're 6-2. You lost to an undefeated team and you lost to Tom Brady the first game of the season, who had all summer to prepare for you. And that happens. Who, by the way, the Bucks have a good defense as well. Really good defense. Um, they don't always play good defense, but they have a good defense. So the point is, yeah, can you close it? Thanks, Gabe. You can close it. How much did you put a lot of food in there or no? All right, not too much. Take a little bit out because I don't want to. We just got a puppy, y'all. So I'm telling my little man. You sure? Did you put water in there? Did you clean up? All right. He's been peeing everywhere. Any dog advice, y'all? I got a puppy. I'm trying to stay patient with this thing. They're so cute when you get them. Oh, look, you got a puppy. They're so cute. And they start peeing, and I'm like, oh my God. So we doing this thing. We're trying to take her out every other whatever. But anyway, so back to the Packers defense and attacking the Packers defense. I think that this Packers passing defense is still the back end is still has players on it. I wouldn't say that they are an elite back end because they don't really get pressure. But so your DNs affect your defensive backs. Like you need those guys. So I wouldn't say that they're an elite back end, but I would say that they're really good. Like Jair Alexander, though he's gotten beat some, the Washington game, Terry McLaurin got him. He's gotten beat some, but he's still a good player for my money. A few others. To me, I'm not saying don't throw the ball, but I want to see in Green Bay, I want to see the passing attack be one that's so you don't have to max protect because they don't have an elite pass rusher. But I do think that I think Joe Barry, I believe Joe Barry's their DC. And what I saw on defense, they don't get after you crazy, but I just want to see the passing game be efficient. And what I mean by that is, Joe Barry's their defense. Yep, there you go, Quinn. They play a lot of zone. Oh wow, look at this. I'm getting dog advice. Thank you, Super Mayo. I never knew this. To stop the smell of the paprika. The dog hates those smells. Okay, so mix paprika with vinegar and water, and spray it on the spots of puppy peas, and it'll get them to stop due to the smell of paprika. Okay. Hey, but Super Mayo, let me ask you this. My only question is this, bro. What about the house smelling like paprika and vinegar? Nah, that's good. That's good advice, Holmes. Thank you. Yo, JP, what's up, man? First, you're the greatest doing this right now, no cap. Thank you, JP. I appreciate it, man. I also appreciate all the homies that push me. I appreciate all y'all. These live streams are cool because I could just I had to go take care of the dog right now. It's cool. Anyway, so I appreciate that though. Super. Any more dog advice? Keep it coming because this dog is keeping me up at night. But it's actually been pretty cool. They're great companions, and she's really like mellow, but she just pees. I'm like, dog, you about to pee again? But I know their bladders are small. I know how it is. So Packers defense, they play a lot of zone. They don't give up a ton of points, but they're not like as stout as they were. And so to me, I'm just like, you know what's so funny about that Packers defense, real quick, y'all? Just like, I remember I wanted to draft Kevin King so bad. And then, because I remember corner was an issue for the Cowboys for a while, like getting a locked in corner. They just replaced Kevin King. I don't even know if Kevin King is even on. I don't think Kevin King is on that roster anymore. But Eric Stokes and Jair Alexander are really good. I don't know. It's just the Packers still kind of like when you look at this roster, you say, this isn't the worst roster in the world. Just interesting. Like, I'll get to A-Rod and his. I've always called A-Rod the biggest front runner in the world. I remember he had that loaded team. We'll get to A-Rod in a second, but let's finish with this defense guy. So Adrian Amos. Now I will say this about Amos: he will come down and he will knock you out. Adrian Amos will knock you out. But like you said, they play a lot of zone. So I just want to see zone beaters, quick game, slant, make those guys come up and tackle. I think actually zone and cover three concepts, like true cover three, and like sticking to it and being able to get pressure with four is kind of like what gives Dak fits. I think that, and I don't know if Green Bay has the D line up front to give Dak fits, but I remember when Denver was able to give. Denver gave, so it's funny, last year, Denver really gave the blueprint to beat the Cowboys last year. Green Bay used it in the playoffs. Now you got to add a personnel to do it, or it's not going to work because Dak can sneak out the back door. But if you have four solid linemen that they don't even have to get home, but they have to make it, they have to disrupt things. And then you can play solid zone on the back end. And then you have two corners on the edge who can like hold up, like just won't get beat all game. You have a chance to beat the Cowboys. I think you combat that now, though, this year with a more solid run game and better run design. I think Kellen Moore has become a better OC. Kellen Moore has become a better offensive coordinator. And so I think that this game, I think that those whole shots so the reason why you would try to go get an Odell Beckham is because the whole shots that Dallas is taking and getting CeeDee Lamb freed up on is what you need to do. That's how you need to get Lamb the ball. And I think that's why Odell, like, it was even cool to just see Jalen Tolbert. I know Jalen Tolbert's my guy, so I'm gonna rock with him. I'm gonna rock with Jalen Tolbert. But what you saw Tolbert doing a lot of times was just running guys off, using that 4.4 speed to run guys off, and then they were just hitting hole shots to CeeDee Lamb. Because obviously Noah Brown is cool, but he's not fast. So he can't, you're not going to use him to run a DB off or run a corner off. And, Tolbert was able to do that, get into those windows, because when you're running some of those combination routes, you need a faster receiver to get in those windows so it can allow other things to open up underneath. So, Odell, and I haven't even touched Odell. I guess we'll talk about that in a second, but I haven't even touched Odell. But let's talk about some numbers real quick. Let's look at some rankings. Let's look where the Packers rank. Let's look at the top rush defense. I think they were middle of the pack. Yeah, I want to say that they were middle of the pack. I'm not sure. Yeah, so not even middle of the pack. And Dallas isn't much better. But Green Bay is giving up 138 yards per game on the ground. Dallas isn't too far behind them, but Dallas is 6-2 because they get leads and they'll give you all that stuff underneath. And I think that Dallas's run defense issue is a lot different than the Packers' run defense issue. But a lot of those, like Justin Fields, who, by the way, is turning his career up, and you respect that about Fields. A lot of those rushing yards against Chicago was a lot of Dallas playing with a lead. Chicago actually runs the ball well, so I won't even say that, but Dallas playing with the lead and if Justin Fields sneaking out the back door. I don't know if Green Bay, and we'll start talking about their defense here in a second, but I don't know if Green Bay is even going to commit to running the ball. I think that's been criminally Aaron Rodgers' issue for the last 3 years, that he checks out of way too many runs. And I don't think that he allows his OC to be an OC. And I think that's a huge issue. And I think that's part of the reason why now, their scheme is all jacked up because they're so used to, at a point, scheme, when you talk about scheme, you have to have the quarterback who is going to live in the scheme and not try to do his own thing because he's so talented. Aaron Rodgers is extremely talented. He has been, but he only has one Super Bowl and he's been on some really talented teams as well. And so some of that is he too smart for his own good? You know, he's had some historic letdowns in the way that he's played. So that'll be interesting. Looking at that defense, let's just put a bow on that defense. I don't know their I don't know their let's look at their opponent passing yards. Look at the passing yards. Top pass defenses. So yeah, that's what I was saying about the Packers don't give up a lot on the back end. They're actually tops in the league in the back end, and Dallas isn't too far behind them. But they don't give up a lot on the back end. They have players on the back end like that are playing really good football. No, Jay Ruiz, I don't. It's a good question, but nah, I think that your safety depth is too good. And then you saw what the Cowboys tried to do with Keanu Neal and make him a linebacker. I just think that didn't work. It's funny because Abrams was really good at Mississippi State, I believe. Yeah, Mississippi State, he went to Mississippi State. Really good player. Flew all over the yard. First round pick, but he just wasn't. He just didn't pan out in Oakland. Honestly, a lot of things aren't panning out in Oakland. So I wouldn't even mess with it. Yep, Jim Law is about 180 a game. Yep, that's where they are. So the Packers actually do play really good run defense. Passing defense. So that's where it's going to be. How do you throw the ball? They play solid on the back end. Dallas plays solid on the back end. The difference is I don't think that Green Bay has the rush that the Cowboys have. And then again, losing Rashawn Gary is going to be like interesting. And I think that Dallas's offensive numbers can be skewed because they've only had their quarterback for 3 games. Like you've really only had Dak Prescott for 3 games. Everybody put 3 in the chat box. I'm gonna start it off. Let's put 3. That's the magic number. You've only had Dak Prescott for 3 games. You've had Dak Prescott for 3 games. You can't even. That's not even enough sample size to look at what this offense could be. To look at what this offense could be. 3 games, guys. And not only that, okay, and not only that, the Chicago game, you put up 50 points. 50. One game at a time. But I love it. One game at a time, y'all. But I like us, y'all. I like us a lot. So, 3 games and you put up 50 points. Your last game. So you're feeling good. Dak was juiced up, playing good football. Let's look at this Packers offense and let's talk about what's really going on in Green Bay. The truth is, the low-hanging fruit is the Packers don't have the weapons on the edge. Christian Watson just hasn't been available. And when he hasn't been good. Drops. Romeo Doubs drops. Sammy Watkins just hasn't. He's still the same kind of like underachieving. Sammy Watkins will give you a play here or there, but he's just not who he should be. Alan Lazard isn't a bad player. But when you talk about to me the Packers issue, it's that offensive line. It's David Bakhtiari. Now Elton Jenkins is a decent player, but David Bakhtiari and his injuries and his age, I just don't know. Right? I just don't know for the life of me why Dallas shouldn't have. Dallas might end up with 6 to 7 sacks this game, maybe more. Give me a number as far as sacks. I just don't think that they could block us up front. I just don't think they have enough to deal with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons um, coming off the edge. I think it's going to be a lot of quick game, and the fact that like AJ Dillon, with them trying to run the ball, um, you know, AJ Dillon is like he's kind of underwhelmed in Green Bay. Bigger back, physical back, but like just hasn't quite gotten it going. And now I'm gonna tell you, some of that could be because Green Bay won't commit to running the ball. Like I was watching a Green Bay YouTuber today, and he's just like, Green Bay just will not commit to running the ball. And I think I think the best way to summarize Green Bay is they're still running their offense like they have Devontae Adams. I think that's the best way. They're still running their schemes like they have Devontae Adams, and they don't. They don't have Devontae Adams. They don't have Devontae Adams. Amari Rodgers, their returner, has just been a guy. It's interesting. It's interesting. But when you look at this game, you say, where are points going to come from? I think I can see this game being like this. And you guys bookmark this and remember that I said this. I think from 20-20, I can see Green Bay doing some things, moving the ball, maybe ripping off a run here or there. Maybe Lazard has a catch here or there. But I think that when you get inside of 20 and we have to be stout, we'll be stout. Like, that's what I think is going to happen. I think that they'll move the ball because I still do think that Aaron Rodgers is an adequate quarterback. I think that he still has some, so I saw some plays where he was still kind of able to sneak out the back door. Now, will he do that against our pass rush? I don't know. So it's been games where I've seen elite Aaron Rodgers against a good pass rush just look like he wasn't even supposed to be there. The game that comes in mind is the San Francisco game. In, what was that, 2019 when they went to the championship against Patrick Mahomes? Or it might have been 2020. But they were just able to just be reckless abandon. That was the game where I said, dog, you have to be more physical than the other team in the NFL. Does not matter how much you throw the ball, your passing yards, Devontae Adams, any of that. San Francisco was the more physical team than Green Bay, and San Francisco won the game. Tennessee versus Kansas City. And Mahomes Magic, Tennessee was the better team. That's why Tennessee is always in games. Even only being able to throw the ball, I think Willis had like 4 completions, something crazy like that. But Tennessee was the more physical team than Kansas City. I want to see Dallas be that team this weekend. I want to see the Cowboys be more physical than Green Bay. I still think there's a something to be said about more physical teams in this game that we love called football. I do. And so to me, Green Bay doesn't run the ball well. And I think they have players that can, they just don't commit to it. Because I actually, like I said, I like Dillon. I don't think he's been a complete bust, but it's also just like between Aaron Jones by far is their best player on offense right now. Not close. Most juice, catches the ball in the backfield. But the problem is he's not healthy. And that's kind of what I've been telling people about Pollard, why you don't want Pollard to be a quote unquote lead back. Because him and Jones kind of have similar playing styles, kind of built the same. And Aaron Jones, he's kind of always had, these little ailments and these little things, nicks and knacks. But that stuff starts to add up when you're a back, dog. It does. So anyway, Aaron Rodgers just not playing good football. And you get to the point to where it's like, does Aaron Rodgers really, you kind of handicapped him by taking away his best weapon. Green Bay did. Maybe it looks like they probably should have fought for Devontae Adams a little bit harder or tried to make that work. But they didn't. And, they're suffering because of it. That offense is abysmal. And it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault but the Packers. So Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, it'll be interesting to see what they come out with against a great defense and the Cowboys. I could see a lot of misdirection. I could see a lot of screen game trying to use, because Dallas is a fast flowing defense as well. I could see a lot of them trying to challenge the interior of their offensive line to run at the Cowboys. And I want to see how the Cowboys handle that in certain personnel packages. Now, Jonathan Hankins came in, had some great reps. Here you go. In Green Bay, on grass fields. Here you go. And so it'll be interesting. But for me, one thing that I'm looking at too, I'm so glad that this game is on the road. I'm so glad this game is on the road. I just think that we play better on the road. We play more. I wouldn't say relaxed on the road, but we play more free on the road. I think that we'll make plays. I kind of like being able to shut the crowd up and hear our fans. I think that our fans are more reckless abandon on the road. And in Green Bay, it'll be good to go. I actually have a buddy who plays for the Packers. His name is Rasheed Walker. He's a tackle. And, so that'll be cool to see him out there. Questions, concerns, comments. Give me a question or two, guys. What are you guys looking for during this game? Is this a trap game? And can Mike McCarthy get his revenge on said Green Bay Packers? Questions. Chris is funny. Did you actually say the Cowboys are the best team in NFC? Explain Blade Brown. Is Blade Brown a troll, y'all? Let me know. If Blade is a troll, then I don't know. I like this. I will play this ticket right here. I will play this ticket, Jackson boy. What's up, Jackson boy? Damone Clark gets a turnover versus the Green Bay Packers. I like that. Talk about it. Did you actually say that the Cowboys are the best team in the NFC? I do. I think that we're the most balanced team. I think that we run the ball the best, and we've only had our quarterback for 3 games. I do think the Cowboys are the best team. I think we're healthy. Knock on wood. We have the best mix of young players and older players playing well. This is Micah Parsons' second year in the league. He's already one of the most hated players in the league because he's so good. Double teams, still shows up every week to do what he's supposed to do. This is Trevon Diggs' 3rd year in the league. Still is a stud, bona fide stud. Zeke and Dak are the elder statesmen, and they're really, in football years, they're still middle of the pack. They're not old. Zeke would be considered an older running back, but he still has a lot of tread left. I think Frank Gore vibes. Frank Gore just played forever and ever and ever and just kept running hard. So, yeah. I think that Dallas is the best team in the NFC. I do. I saw a good question. Why no Brillo at linebacker. You know what, Jim? No Brillo at linebacker because I don't think the Cowboys trust Jabril Cox right now. I have no reason why they don't. Um, I really don't know, but I just think that they don't trust him right now, and that's that on that. And they just trust Damone Clark more, and so that's uh that's just what it is. And I think we all like Jabril Cox and what we saw, but for some reason he can't get on the field. And I don't know if it's because he's not physical enough. Damone Clark is physical. You see him play with hands. You see him play through and shed tackles. You see him rallying to every tackle like he's around a pile. And you didn't see that with Jabril. So, and I don't know how physical and how well he fights through trash. I think that's the issue. Any more questions? Turpin is cool, but he's not Tyreek. No, Turpin is not Tyreek, but he has a lot of juice. And I think those 1 to 2 space plays a game, I tweeted it. You guys follow me on Twitter, by the way. I tweeted, I said, dog, put this in the space play category for Kevon Turpin. Yep, that's it, Jim Laws. We have the Jim. Hey, Jim, you coming through with the fire, man. My dog, Jim. Jim with the law. You better know what's going on. Jim Laws Nation. I like it, man. We have the third youngest team in the league. Shout out to you. Any more questions? Oh, let's look at this one. Yeah, I think that LV is playing nicely. Like he's not playing. There's still times where I turn on the film and I say, man, LV just looks like the slowest person out there. But I have to remind myself that this defense is just really, really fast. Like I see some like medium fast defenses. This defense is faster than that. Like this team can run. So when you have a guy like LVE, this will be a good game for him because everything will probably be coming downhill at him. But I had to remind myself just how fast this defense is. Speed wins this game. First one to 30 wins this one. Well, the Packers, they haven't scored 30. I don't know if they scored 30 one time this year. They just don't put up a lot of points. So, of course, knock on wood, they'll go crazy against Dallas. So, who knows? But no, I think that teams haven't Chicago did. And I feel like some of that was Dallas getting to the bye week. Some of that was, a few bad reps here and there, but I don't know, just how real that is. I think Dallas is more the defense who they put on on film, which is the defense that's gonna be extremely stout. Is there a receiver that can cause us problems? On their team, I think they have some solid receivers. Like I don't think that Alan Lazard is a bad player, but like cause us problems and make us, switch our defense. No, I don't believe that. Do you believe? This is a good question. Do you believe Jim Law? I told you, Jim Law Nation. Do you believe that Bland balls out in nickel or slot? Well, they're kind of like the same, honestly, because you're both inside. I like Bland. If you want to be real, I really want to see Bland as an outside corner. But it's dope that he could do both. I think that he's going to play the slot and he'll be in there in nickel packages because he's a good tackler. So to me, I just want Bland on the field. Does Diggs get one this week? I think Diggs does get one. Tip ball or jump because these are the receivers that Diggs loves because Lazard is not going to run away from him. He's more like a bigger possession guy, and so those are the receivers that I think Diggs does well with. All right, y'all. It's your boy Foots. I'm tired. Y'all know what y'all be saying. Foots always falling asleep. I actually am tired today. I had to run. I ran. No, I didn't. I didn't jog today. I did the stair stepper. Then I lifted. Got my heart rate up. Wanted to sweat, and then I lifted. So I'm tired. Gotta let my body recover. Recovery is the most important thing when you're working out. Recovery and what you eat. So anyway, y'all, it's your boy Foots. As always, thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This was a good one. I'll come back in the next couple of days and talk to you guys. Last question. Have you ever heard of Land of Passion by Hubert Law? No, I haven't, but I'll check it out. Nice. Y'all get some rest. It's your boy Foots. Peace, y'all. Hey, remember to love on somebody. remember that you mean something to somebody, all that type of stuff. Dallas, and listen, one quick thing before I go. The Odell thing, right? Odell Beckham would help this team, and I don't think that he would be a distraction. I didn't get into it a lot, but I don't think that he would be a distraction. I think that he would help this team, and I think it would actually open things up more for CeeDee Lamb. I think that CeeDee Lamb will be your one, but now you have a guy who can still stretch a defense consistently. So, all right, y'all. It's your boy Foots. Yep, pound the like button. Follow me on Twitter and IG. Let me put this right quick. Foots King. IG. Hey, Jim Laws will tell y'all. I talk back on IG. So show love on IG as well. Anybody who has an Instagram. I show love, man. All right. It's your boy Foots. Peace.